Hey guys, Bowsergans here for another video, and we just got an update about an hour ago about a smashing nerf to Kyrian Druid, specifically the legendary Kindred Affinity. And now reads, this bonus is halved for your Kindred Spirit, however both bonuses are doubled while the bond is empowered. You can see the values here. Before it was 150 for the Mastery increase when bonded with a Kyrian. That's up to 210. However, this is only going to be a buff to yourself, and this was needed because mastery was pretty subpar from this empowerment. However, for your ally, it'll be 75 or excuse me 105 base now, and then that will be doubled to 210 during the empowerment. So not that much mastery for your ally. However, the biggest change here, obviously, is the 6% increase now for yourself when you're bonded with an ally, depending on their covenant. This is down from 8%, making the empowerment go from 16% down to 12%, which is, of course, a 25% nerf. And that is a significant number. However, when you also factor in that this bonus is going to be halved for your ally, it's only a 3% static increase. So if let's just say we're using haste, you're bonded with a Night Fae, they're only going to get 3% haste when they're bonded with you, and then when you empower it, it'll be 6%. Going from a 16% empowerment to your ally to 6% empowerment for your ally, I think is a roughly 63% nerf to the Covenant Legendary, which is, oh man, that is a banger of a nerf. I think that if you're a Resto Druid or a Guardian Druid, this is especially bad news. Resto Druid, who recently got buffs to their damage and healing, I think Blizzard was maybe throwing those out first in anticipation of then bringing this out later. Who knows how long they have this planned? But this guts Resto Druid, Kyrian. This guts Kyrian Resto Druid so bad because all the power really associated with this was placed into empowering your ally. That's where most of the damage came from, making your fire mage even more powerful, making your windwalker monk even more powerful. This will dramatically reduce the number of Kyrian Resto Druids you see in 9.2, and really in Mythic Plus in general in 9.2. I can see J.B just rolling in his grave at the moment. However, this being primarily a tank channel, I can tell you right now that this also really impacts Guardian Druid. Do I think that Guardian Druid running the Kyrian Covenant in 9.2 is dead? Probably not. I mean, that's more so having to do with how weak the other covenants are. Necrolord is, of course, completely irrelevant, and it wasn't addressed in any way in this patch cycle, or excuse me, in this PTR build, I should say. Um, However, the versatility is not something that you can shake a stick at, right? It's still going to be 6% empowered to 12%. If you're running Mechanicos, that'll be roughly every 30 to 40 seconds, depending on how many enemies you hit with it. So, I mean, 12% versatility and then a static 6% is still pretty darn powerful. And then you get the file on top of that, which is useful in a lot of situations for bear druids. I think this really just makes Night Fae more relevant in the discussion, and then potentially Venthyr as well. Although I would still say it's probably going to be between Kyrian and Night Fae in 9.2 for Guardian. So stay tuned for that. I'm actually going to test this in a dungeon and see how much damage I lost. I can imagine that my my push team member who's planning on playing a Venthyr Enhancement Shaman in 9.2 is not going to be happy about the news that his 16% crit buff every 30 seconds just became 6%, right? For Boomkin, I think this really solidifies the options between Night Fae and Venthyr. I'm open to someone contesting that. I don't know enough about the Boomkin meta to decipher whether this kills it or not, but I do absolutely know that a lot of the perceived power in this legendary period is how much extra damage you give to your ally in addition to yourself. This being the secondary bonus being nerfed by 63%. is just a massive amount, right? Just a massive amount. So, seeing a bunch of boomkins running around as Night Fae or Ventir would not shock me. And for Feral, I just think this further buries it into the ground. I think the majority of Feral Druids in 9.2 are going to be running Night Fae, potentially Necrolord in PvP. Um, Again, don't know as much about that spec, but they're already not really running Kyrian, so I'm assuming that will this this definitely won't change any minds in 9.2. So, what is my overall analysis of the change? Horrid if you're a Resto Druid, feels bad. I'm sorry for you. Guardian, TBD, and then for the other two specs, I just think that this is a big risk running this in 9.2 because of the reduced secondary effect. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I should have a video out either tonight or tomorrow testing this out. If I don't post that video, it's because the results were the results were a little bit mixed. It's difficult to test this kind of thing in the PTR environment. Because I don't have my UI set up, so I'm not playing as well as I normally would anyway. But we also don't know for sure whether this number is going to stick. So putting in a lot of time and effort to test it out during this PTR cycle specifically has been a bit brutal. I've had several videos bricked by changes to the PTR builds like a couple of days later. So, I'm trying to avoid that as much as I can. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Where do you think this leaves Kyrian Druids in 9.2? I think it's pretty close to the basement. All right, guys, like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe as always. I appreciate all the support as I try to climb to 100 subscribers and go on to my next goal. I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye-bye.